Have you ever noticed how people are quick to say, "I'm not strong enough," but at the same time, those same people are carrying invisible battles every single day? Here's the truth most won't tell you. You are stronger than you give yourself credit for. And no, that's not just another fluffy line from a self-help book. It's raw self-help, grounded in the reality of life. The fact is, your personal growth is already happening in the shadows, in those moments you thought were breaking you, but were actually building your inner strength. The problem? Most people measure their worth by the size of their victories instead of the weight of their struggles. That mindset keeps them blind to their emotional resilience, their mental toughness, their ability to overcome obstacles they never thought possible. Think about it. How many times have you been at rock bottom, convinced it was the end, only to realize later it was the exact moment that pushed you towards self-belief, self-discipline, and a stronger success mindset? You've done it before. You'll do it again. So, here's the challenge. For the next few minutes, forget the noise of comparison, forget the highlight reels of others, and focus on the truth. You are stronger, smarter, and more resilient than you realize. This video isn't just another motivational video you'll forget tomorrow. It's a breakthrough mindset shift, a daily motivation that proves you already have the inner power to shape your life. Stick around, because by the end of this, you won't just believe in yourself a little more. You'll understand why you never had a reason to doubt your self-worth in the first place. Recognizing the strength you already have. Most people underestimate their own resilience because they only look at their big wins, not the quiet victories that prove their mental strength. Think about it. Waking up on a bad day but still showing up at work? That's self-discipline. Picking yourself up after a heartbreak? That's emotional resilience in action. Even saying no to something that doesn't serve your growth mindset, that's self-confidence flexing its muscle. These aren't small things. They're the very proof that you are stronger than you give yourself credit for. Imagine someone who goes through a breakup. They feel shattered, convinced they've lost their self-worth. But weeks later, they realize they've learned to be alone, to rebuild, to move forward. That's personal development. That's the kind of success mindset nobody claps for. But it's the most powerful kind of self-motivation. Recognizing these small but crucial battles is what turns raw self-help into a real-life breakthrough mindset. And here's the kicker. When you start seeing these quiet victories as evidence of your inner strength, everything changes. Suddenly, setbacks stop looking like failures and start looking like training grounds. Each challenge becomes proof that you've got the emotional resilience to keep going. It's like building muscles. You don't notice the growth day by day, but one day you look back and realize just how far you've come. And what happens when you begin to consciously measure that growth? Well, that's where the real transformation begins. The power of mindset shifts. Here's something people rarely admit. Life doesn't always get easier, you just get stronger. That strength is rooted in mindset. When someone adopts a growth mindset instead of a fixed one, challenges stop looking like threats and start looking like opportunities for self-improvement. For example, instead of saying, "I failed at this project, so I'm not good enough," a person with a positive mindset says, "This didn't work, but now I know what to do differently." That simple shift is the foundation of personal development and self-belief. Take Thomas Edison, for instance. He didn't invent the light bulb overnight. It took thousands of so-called failures. But his mindset reframed every attempt as progress, not defeat. Imagine if he had given up after the 10th try, thinking he wasn't strong enough. His perseverance is a timeless reminder of what daily motivation and mental toughness can achieve. It's proof that your inner strength isn't about avoiding failure, but about using it as fuel for personal growth. And here's the beautiful twist. Once you start training your mind this way, it spills into every area of your life. Relationships become less about fear of rejection and more about authentic connection. Career setbacks turn into opportunities for reinvention. Even personal struggles begin to look like stepping stones toward emotional resilience and self-confidence. But this shift doesn't just happen on its own. There's a practice behind it, and that's where things get interesting. Building emotional resilience. Life throws curveballs, sometimes small annoyances, sometimes full-on storms. Emotional resilience is what allows someone to stand in the rain without losing themselves. It's not about pretending things don't hurt. It's about facing pain and still choosing to move forward. Think about it. When someone gets laid off, they could crumble under the weight of rejection, or they could use it as motivation for personal growth, pushing themselves to discover a new path that aligns better with their self-worth. That choice is where resilience shows its power. Practical example? Journaling is one of the simplest but most underrated tools for emotional resilience. Writing down fears, frustrations, and victories trains the mind to process emotions instead of letting them spiral. It's self-help at its core, a raw, unfiltered way to build self-belief. And when paired with practices like meditation or even a consistent workout routine, it develops both mental toughness and self-discipline. Each of these acts strengthens inner power in ways most people overlook. But here's the thing, resilience doesn't mean being unbreakable. It means learning how to bend without snapping, to adapt and find strength and flexibility. And when someone starts to see resilience not as a personality trait but as a skill that can be built, everything changes. That's when setbacks transform into setups for comebacks. And if resilience is the shield that protects you, what about the sword that helps you move forward with confidence? Cultivating self-discipline. If resilience is about bending without breaking, self-discipline is about choosing long-term gain over short-term comfort. Most people crave quick rewards, but true personal development comes from showing up consistently, even when motivation is nowhere to be found. Waking up early to work on your goals, sticking to a budget, or saying no to distractions. These little acts of self-discipline stack up into massive transformations. That's the secret ingredient behind every success mindset. Think about athletes training for the Olympics. They don't rely on fleeting bursts of motivation. They rely on discipline, on habits built day by day. The same principle applies to everyday life. Reading 10 pages of a self-improvement book each night may not feel groundbreaking, but do it for a year and you'll have absorbed 10 books worth of life advice. That's how a positive mindset, paired with consistency, leads to breakthroughs that feel almost impossible at first. And here's where it gets exciting. The more discipline you practice, the easier it gets. It's like strengthening a muscle. You build mental toughness through repetition. Over time, what once felt like sacrifice becomes second nature. And when discipline aligns with inner power and self-belief, you stop chasing motivation and start creating momentum. But discipline alone isn't enough. It needs fuel. And that fuel comes from something deeper, something tied directly to self-confidence and purpose. Unlocking inner power through self-belief. At the core of every breakthrough mindset lies one undeniable truth. If you don't believe in yourself, no strategy, no life advice, and no external motivation will truly work. Self-belief is the spark that ignites everything else. Your resilience, your self-discipline, your growth mindset. It's the quiet but unshakable voice that says, "You are stronger than this challenge." Without it, even the best plans collapse under doubt. With it, obstacles become stepping stones. Look at someone like J.K. Rowling, who faced countless rejections before Harry Potter was published. The only reason the world ever got to read her stories is because she believed in herself when nobody else did. That's not just motivation. It's mental toughness, self-confidence, and the raw self-help that turns rejection into resilience. Believing in yourself doesn't mean you'll never fail. It means you'll keep showing up until you succeed. And here's the part most people overlook. Self-belief isn't a one-time decision. It's a daily practice, a choice you make every morning. You reinforce it by surrounding yourself with encouragement, filling your mind with inspirational videos, books, and conversations that remind you of your self-worth. When belief becomes habit, your inner strength becomes unstoppable. And once you tap into that inner power, you'll realize you've been capable all along. But now the real question is, how will you use it moving forward? So let me ask you this. After hearing all of this, what's the story you've been telling yourself? That you're weak, unlucky, not good enough? Or will you finally admit the truth, that you are stronger than you give yourself credit for? Because the moment you flip that narrative, everything changes. Your mindset shifts, your confidence rises, and suddenly life's obstacles turn into invitations for growth. But here's the challenge. Will you actually apply this? Will you start journaling, practicing self-discipline, and feeding your inner power every single day? Or will you scroll to the next video and slip back into the same cycle? This is your wake-up call. You don't need anyone else's permission to change your life. You just need your own belief. If this spoke to you, don't just keep it to yourself. Subscribe to the channel, hit that notification bell, and stay plugged into this journey of personal growth and self-improvement. Each video is here to give you the encouragement, the raw self-help, and the daily motivation you need to keep building resilience and unlocking your true potential. So, are you ready to believe in yourself today?